Good morning guys, welcome to Lost Sphinx Gaming. Having a look at this week's challenges for Forzathon on Forza Motorsport 7. You've got a challenging one, not for the faint of heart, Tour de Force, Supreme Skill and Exotic Cars for Exotic People. Challenging one, win a race at a circuit event in an upgraded Major Micros car.
Pikachu, I choose you! Pikachu!
So there you go, I've got my Pikachu BMW Ice-Setter, but I need to upgrade it. I need to put it up to an A class. So I'm having a quick look through some of the tunes. I'll see what I've got. Most of them aren't suitable because they're E class or R class, but I found one. I've got A class here, which isn't too bad. So I'll download and install that one, see what that costs me. But this should be interesting because I did up on these to an S2 class in Horizon 4 and they're absolutely mental. Pretty much guaranteed to go off the corner at any given moment. But I've done this upgrade and they're going to a race setup. And I think I'll take something pretty straightforward. I think I'll have Prague on my short circuit. I don't want anything too taxing considering this car's likely to topple over at any given moment. Still rocking me 1990s drive gear, which I may change as I go along. Let's see what happens on this one, shall we? Short circuit Prague in an upgraded Pikachu. So let's see, what am I up against? Okay, fair enough, that's an Aston Martin Vantage by the looks of things. I think this is probably the first time in history that a BMW Ice-Setter has owned an Aston Martin Vantage. I have to be really careful around here. This car is very wobbly. Well, it's wobbly anyway, it's only on 3 wheels, but it's more so now since I've upped the engine power. But it seems to be handling things reasonably well. It is a bit wobbly on the corners, but I can live with that one. Quick hit on the wall. This is crazy, I'm pushing 120 mile an hour in a major micro. Little wobble there, almost went over. Another wobble there. I'm actually starting to get a bit worried on this now. I think I'm going to be on my roof in a minute. I could have done this in the Citroen 2 CV, but somehow having a supersonic specced up Pikachu is funnier. There's definitely the wobble on it. It's going off to the side. I'm actually very impressed. I'm coming up to a finish line and I've not actually toppled over. So 1 minute 18 seconds on that one. Let's see what time this Aston Martin comes in as. So 1 minute 18 for me and 1 minute 20 for the Aston Martin. Yeah. That's comical to say the least. So I've made the progress in a challenging one. And being a one-step challenge, I've completed it. Rock and roll. Let's have a look, see what we've got. 860,000 credits. Brilliant, or I spent about double that on my tune. So Tour de Force, win a race in a Forza Touring Cars Division car. We've got to win a race in a P2 division. We've got a KTM manufacturer. I'm looking to see if I can combine these, but it's not looking as if I can again this week. Looks like I've got to pretty much just play it through and go with it. So win a race in a Touring Divisions car. This will be for the Astronaut Classic driver gear, all wrapped up in tin foil. Not quite sure how that protects you against the radiation from the Van Allen belt, but allegedly it did. So I don't know. So here I am now in a Mercedes-Benz. Got the A-Class. I'm a Hockenheim ring. Picked the short circuit for this one. just so I can have a fly through it and pick up the prizes. Not doing too badly in the Merc. My opponent this week. My opponent this week is Henryok. I think that's how you pronounce it. They're not too far behind me, but I've left this on unbeatable mode. Normally I play on pro mode or something like that, but I've left it on unbeatable because I did a bit of cash building the other day and I haven't really been back on it since, because I've been doing Fortnite and a bit of Horizon. So in my Merc, nice red and black colour scheme. It is a nice car for Merc actually. I do like a nice A-class, but I do have a predisposition towards German cars. So I'm coming up towards the line. Definitely keeping up with me, which isn't too bad. Sometimes it's no fun when you just pull away and leave them sitting in the dust. Give me a bit of a challenge. So yes, Mercedes-Benz A-Class and the Volvo. Pop-ups there saying I've made progress in Tour de Force. Let's see what I've got next. Complete a race at Le Mans Circuit del Surf, I think it's pronounced, in a Forza P2 division car. Okay, I don't normally do Le Mans too much, mainly because it's a bit of a long track, a bit of a long lap, but I'll head down and I'll have a look. I'm just checking if there is anything I can combine with this, but there isn't. It is going to be a playthrough. So I'm in France, I'm on the Le Mans circuit, I'm in a Porsche P2 division car. Brilliant. I didn't quite catch what I was racing against there, but I'm not sure if it's a Peugeot, but I'll know at the end. This is quite a long track. I'm playing with some rain. I'm going to do a bit of editing on the races if they're a bit long, but I'm expecting this to be about 4 minutes or so, because this is a track I used to use for my cash builder before I came to the conclusion you could just jump in me Formula 1 car, put a few choice mods on, stick everything on unbeatable for 100 laps around the brickyard, and jobs are good, and you can become a millionaire in about an hour. So here we go, in the rain, pulling my speed up. I might actually use this track again later, because one of my later challenges is I need to hit 201 mile an hour in a Rise of Supercars car. So in realistic terms, I need to be getting on a decent straight. And I use a brickyard a bit too much for stuff, and Le Mans is a brilliant track. And what I'm trying to do this week, you may have noticed, is I'm being rather pro-European on this one. No Brexiteers to be found around here, I'll tell you. But last week I was very centric around the USA, around the American cars on American tracks and different things. So I'm going to address the balance a little bit, a bit like in the golf really. You've got the Ryder Cup, you've got the European team, and you've got the American team, and this is the European team this week. We've got a European track with a European car, despite the fact that I think it's got an American flag on the front of it. Last time I looked, Porsche was built in Germany. So coming around here, not doing too badly, bit of distance between myself and my opponent, but never mind. Decided to put this one on in the rain because I do a lot of like dry tracks, I do a lot of daytime stuff. Well, let's just give it a challenge. Let's have a pretty quick car. Let's send it around the track with a few bends, and let's put the rain on. So I am a little bit slidey, as you can tell on this one, but that's all part of the fun. I'm not going to start hitting rewind or stop messing about. Let's just try and do a not so hot lap around here, but this is what we've got. There's a few things going on this week. I've got a couple more videos to do today. I've completely forgotten I did a Fortnite one and uploaded it a few days ago. I need to tag it, do the artwork and whatnot. I've put together a video about buying a castle in Forza Horizon 4 and my wheel spins with that, so I need to do a voiceover on that, get the editing sorted, and I'm definitely going to be doing a video in the next few days about a little, it's not a hack, it's just a glitch you can do on Horizon. It's changed since I last did it. The update seems to have sort of fixed the glitch, but with a couple of little changes you can still gain an advantage out of it, although whether that advantage is worth the hassle is up for debate really. But I was not doing too badly on here. I'm coming up across the line, 4 minutes 3 seconds. Let's have a look. What was I racing? I'm sure it was that Peugeot, but I might be wrong. Oh, it was a Mazda. You know, I was racing a Mazda. Although the thing is, in the P2 class, they're all pretty much similar design. But I've made progress in Tour de Force, and I've completed it. And I'm the Stig. Told you I'd change your drive gear along the way. So having looked back in, and I'm picking up my Astronaut Classic driver gear. Even if racing technology isn't ready for space, your wardrobe shows what you are. So next up, exotic car for exotic people. Race a KTM, complete 6 laps at Dubai in exotic GT, and complete a race where you hit 201 mile an hour in a supercar. So off to the KTM race. I've got this KTM, it's a Swiss car, so I'm naturally taking it to the Swiss Alps. I might be in a bit of trouble here. I'm actually up against a Koenigsegg Regera, or however you pronounce it, but I'm up against a Koenigsegg, which is one of the fastest cars in this game. So I may be in a little bit of trouble, particularly given that, one, they've pulled away very well and I haven't, and the fact that I'm absolutely rubbish on the Bernese Alps. I don't know why. It always seems to be a track I struggle with. It's a track which, if I'm not going to come first on races, this is the one where I don't. Any other track I can usually climb back up the rankings, gain the advantage and everything, but this one, I don't know why. I just really struggle with it, but I picked this purely on the basis that it's Swiss, and I'm racing a Swiss car in a very tenuous sort of bizarre, how many European tyres can I put in a race? But the Koenigsegg's off, so I'm going to be second on this one, but I don't mind too much because the challenge itself is just to complete a race in a KTM manufactured car. Whilst I'm almost catching this Koenigsegg up, it's just too quick, it's just too good on the acceleration, and basically second place, 1 minute 31, didn't really stand a chance, but in all fairness, given a choice, I'll be driving the Koenigsegg over the KTM, because Koenigsegg 1-1, which is a sister of this car, is one of my favourite cars on Forza. But never mind, second place, I'll deal with it. I've made progress in exotic cars in my Switzerland driver gear, so a Swiss car on a Swiss track with a Swiss driver. Go into the Forzathon screen and let's have a look. 6 laps at Dubai City Circuit alternate in this. So I've got myself a Lamborghini. Right, not doing too badly. Slaps around here isn't too bad, where I will cut it. And what I might do is do something a little different today. Because normally what I do is first 30 seconds of a lap and then the last 30 seconds of a last lap. So it's not too bad, which, you know, is alright if I've only got about a minute or so on a lap. But if it's a little bit long, you do sort of miss out bits of a track. You don't really see me racing the whole thing. So what I'm going to do with this one is I'm going to race my first lap of the 6, show you the entire lap, and then just before the finish line I will cut to the end of the video and show me crossing the line on the 6th lap. So you've got a full lap of the track on lap number 1, and as soon as I hit the finish line it goes through, gives me my time, and I can move on. So I'm coming up there now. Cross the line, perfect, 1 minute 17. That's not a bad bit of editing, because the last couple of weeks my editing's been a bit rubbish. I've been rushing it, I've been chopping bits out, but it's, you know, it's alright today. That's actually quite a good bit of editing. In my Lambo Aventador. Again, that's a nice car. That's a very nice car. So pop-ups telling me I've made progress in exotic cars, and I've got my Italian driver gear on. You know, keeping it local, keeping it in setting with what I'm driving. Just a shame the track wasn't European, but I'm getting a bit sad with these tenuous links, but never mind. So what I'll do is I'll move on and have a look and see what's next. So going into the Forzathon screen, and my final challenge: complete a race where you go at least 201 miles an hour in a Riser Supercar Division car. Okay, cool. Right. What I've got is the McLaren F1 from 1993. At the time, the world's fastest production road car. Very expensive at the time, well over $1 million, and the price has only gone up on them as they've got rarer and rarer. They've become a part of racing history. This is a British car, and I'll let you know now I've actually got the Stig driver gear on, so that's British connection there. And I'm racing around the Le Mans circuit again, because I did say I'll probably need to go around Le Mans in order to get speed up in this car to 201 mile an hour. It's definitely a bit slidey, but I can live with that. I'm doing this in the daytime, doing it on a dry circuit, because the idea is just to maximise your traction and just absolutely hammer it down the straight. So this is not a bad car. It's not one I drive a lot. I think this is actually my first car on Forza 7. Because when you go into Forza 7, you get to pick a car and they just give you a car. And I went through and I picked the McLaren F1 just because it opened up a few more races for me. Plus, if you're going to get your first car, at least get an expensive one, get a quick one, it'll save you more time later. But I picked this one up and it's a really nice car. Yeah, McLaren, British racing team. So I've got a British driver, which, despite what certain members of our government and right-wing members of our society like to say, Britain is still part of the European Union for the time being, so I'm still sticking with the European theme on this one. So I'm using Le Mans for this one. I'm expecting about a 4-minute time on this, about halfway through. At the moment, I'm sounding a bit more croaky today because it's quite early in the morning and voice is starting to go a little bit, but I'll be okay. I've had a look ahead, a bit cheaty, for next week's, and it does seem that what they've done with the challenges. They've stuck 2 weeks together, probably because of Christmas week and everything. So I'll be looking at some of that, but I'll go through those with you guys at the end, because at the time you guys will be seeing this, I'm recording this on a Sunday morning, and tomorrow is the 17th, which is basically 1 week to Christmas, or 1 week to Christmas Eve. So this is actually quite mad, really. Every year's gone. So by the time you guys are watching this, it will be 7 days till Christmas Eve, if Christmas is your thing, of course, because it isn't for everyone. But it's absolutely crazy. They're just quick. The year's gone with everything. So much stuff happening, you know, both in games and both in sort of reality, really. I mean, this channel's over, you know, a year old, which is totally mental. Although I haven't really bothered doing much with it for the first sort of 6 months or so. It's only in the last few months I've sort of decided to start picking up things and doing stuff. And now I'm still not really doing huge amounts. I'm not even promoting this. I'm just sort of just putting stuff up and just letting people find it, and it's actually pretty decent. So I might do in the new year, start promoting a bit more, doing a bit more social media stuff. But it's just been a crazy time, both personally and, you know, work-wise and all that sort of stuff. So yeah, it's not a bad year. So I'll be doing some stuff next week. It may be a two-part video, maybe a longer video, depending on what sort of challenges I can combine and what I can do. But it'll be interesting to see what comes out next week's. This is quite crazy because I'll do them on the Friday night and end up publishing them on Monday, which is a Christmas Eve. But across the line, 4 minutes 11 in the McLaren F1. Definitely hit 201 mile an hour down that straight with no particular problems. So there you go. So here I am in Stig drive gear, driving the British McLaren. You made progress in exotic cars, and you have completed exotic cars. Exotic cars for exotic people. Bit like local shops, you know. So here's my reward, a 2014 back mono, built in Liverpool. So that's another British link, no European link. So there you go. So you can see I've got some stuff up there. I've got spinning all the tyres, slipping into the holidays, and 'tis the season. The crashed dummy driver gear, the credits, and the gingerbread man driver gear. So that's not too bad. It's your one step, your two step, and your three step. Actually, it's not. It's your one step, and your two step. So I'm not sure quite what's going on with the ordering on that one, but let's scroll down and let's have a look at the next stuff. A red nose, very shiny. That's your three step. You've got a new year, new beginnings, that's two step, and you're driving through the years, classics to modern marvels, which is going to three steps. So you've got two one steps, two two steps, and two three steps. We get the California 250, nice Ferrari, 6,000 credits, and then Mercedes-Benz AMG GTR. Very nice. So with that, guys, what I'll do is I'll leave you to it. And like I say, thank you very much for watching. Hopefully you found this enjoyable and useful, and I'll be back next week with these festive base challenges. I'll see what I can do around that. So until next time, guys, thanks for watching. If you like what I'm doing, hit that like button, hit subscribe to keep up to date with what I'm doing, and until next time, thanks for watching. Happy driving.